So in this section, what I want to do is basically I want to take each one of these articles, and I want to make it 3 articles across, and then I want to take each one of these 4 items and make it 2 and 2, just so you can see how to like kind of shift things around a little bit. So if you want to have a different kind of column and row situation. Now, one of the things that I just noticed now, and I don't know how I didn't notice this earlier, but where's my background image? You might have been yelling at the screen, be like, oh, the background image isn't there. Let's go ahead and fix that real quick. I want to show you what's wrong with it first, and then you'll understand how to fix it. So originally, we had internal CSS, right? So when we wrote the link, we wrote, oh, go to images, and then select this image, okay? Well, now we have CSS, okay? So it's going to look for an images folder. Do you see an images folder here? No. It actually has to go up a folder, then go to this folder. As opposed to when we're in here, right? It's going to look next door, and then there's images. This one, the document's here now, when it looks next door, there's no images folder. So we have to change the file path because now to the CSS, it looks like it's in a different position. So that being said, we're just going to go ahead, go here, scroll up to the top, and where we have the background image, which I don't see that in here either. Did I not copy and paste it? Let me see something. I don't know where my background image is. Okay, well, we're just going to go ahead and put that in there. I'm not sure exactly what happened there, but I'm going to fix that real quick. So back to here. So right after background color, my point is still the same. Yours probably is also not working. I'm not sure what happened to my background image. But anyway, so background image. Okay. And then we want to do URL. Okay. Then single quote. But notice, if I start typing in images, see how it's not leading to anything? What you actually have to do is we have to go up a folder. If you remember when in the very 2 classes ago, I had you can go up and down file folders when I was talking about links. So it's // That will go up a folder. Now I can type in images and then go to the wallpaper. And I'm going to go ahead and just do the background background attachment. Where are you? All the way on the bottom there. Background attachment, and we'll do fixed. And I think that was it. So now if I save that, it should be there. So just so you are aware that I forgot that. Anyway, so now that that's done, what I would like to do is I want to make these into like 3 sections. Okay, so to do that, we're going to use the CSS. So we'll just go down here. We'll just add it to the bottom here. All right. So what you're going to see is I want to target basically each one of these articles, okay, inside the section. Now I have to be careful with that because it's also going to do it to these, and I only want it to be in this, right? So I got to target main, then section, then article. So I can't just do article, because if I do article, right, it will apply to all of them. I just want the ones in the main section. So I'm going to do main, then section, then article. Okay, so that way I only get those ones specifically. And now I will write my CSS. So, yeah, so margin, well, we're going to change the width first. So let's do width, and we'll do 275. Basically what I did is that, oops, I want to do 275 px. Basically what I did is that my whole thing is, what do you call it? It's 960. So then I was like, oh, I'll divide that by 3 because it's 3 across. And then I'm also going to need margin and padding in between. So I just kind of roughly put this number in. We can shift this around depending on how large we need it. The other thing I want to do, the 2 main things we need are the width so that each column is a certain size. And the other thing we need to do is display. And we need to make them inline block. Let's save that. And I think it will already work. Yeah. So now notice that now they are inline block. Pretty good. Okay. But it's a little, we could format a little bit better. So I just want to add a couple other things. You see, these are kind of tight. See how it's like close to this? Like it's not lining up with that, which isn't very good. They could use background images because the stuff is making it hard to see because we got rid of it for this. So I'm just going to change a bunch of things here. Another thing is too, you'll notice how this is higher than that one and this is way higher than this one. So I'm going to do vertical align as well to fix that. So we're just going to add a bunch more CSS. So after width, let's go ahead and also add height. So that way when we do add a background to it, it will be that size. Otherwise, it'll only be the size of the elements themselves. Then what I want to do is, we'll go after this one. I'm going to do margin left, and we're just going to make it 10 pixels. Okay, so that way it'll push off from the left, and it's going to go on each one, so that'll actually help separate them. We're also going to do padding left, or actually we'll just do padding because I'm going to have it all the way around, and then we'll also make that 10 pixels. And then I need to do the vertical align, and we're going to align to the top, so that way all the tops are lined up. And then we'll just do a background color, and I'm going to just use that darker orange, so that way it stays the same. Okay, let's go ahead and save that, and then I'm going to go back here. I'm going to hit Control R, and then voila. Okay, so that looks a little bit better. There are things that we could do a little bit better here. So if for some reason I want a bigger gap between these, I could change mine to like 15. So for the margin here, so like watch, if I take, where are you, margin? Margin left is what I'm looking for. There it is, margin left. I could change this to 15. And then if we go back here and I hit Control R, you're going to see this is going to shift a little bit. So now it lines up here, and it's mostly lining up there. So that works fine. It's a little bit off, but I think it's fine for what we're doing. But if you need to change the spacing in between, you can always do that. Just be aware if you go too far, it will go so far that it will actually, so if I do, let's say 25, and we go here, it will go so far that it will wrap and go underneath again, okay? Because it's being treated inline. So you might have to adjust your numbers here depending on the size of your elements. You could also change the width, change the size of that, play around with the height. Like if your height isn't enough to support the what you have in there, like it might be too short or it might be longer than you need. Like these are a little bit longer than I need, but all the same, I think that looks okay. So I was able to put these three in a row by adding that there. Okay, so the next thing I'd like to do is the footer area here. I'm just going to do the same basic idea. So we're going to go back here, and we're going to, let's make sure that's like that. Okay, and we're going to do this. So it's going to be footer, right? And then I think I did section, and then it was article again. Okay, so that way we're grabbing the articles inside the footer. All right. So let's go ahead and we'll do width, and I'm going to do 190. And the only reason why I know it's 190 is I already like tried different numbers until I got a number that I liked. And we'll do height just so there's enough room for everything. I'm going to do 200 pixels, and then we'll do margin so that there's a space between each of the elements. We'll do 10 pixels, and padding will be the same, 10 pixels. Okay, and then, most importantly, we have to do it display inline block, display, and we're going to do, you can see there's a bunch of other ones as well. So these get a little bit more fancy, like flex is like a whole system that I don't currently teach in my Web 2 class, but I actually think I might change that because I think that's actually a cleaner way of doing it than this. Then we're going to do the same thing too, where we do the vertical line to the top. And I'm just going to put a background color behind each one as well, just so that it's easier to read. And I'm just do the same color, okay? And we'll go like that. All right, so should look something like this. We're going to save it, and then I'll go here, Control R. And so what you're going to notice is it does not go 4 across. And the reason why it doesn't is because my overall box here that I made, right? This is 240 pixels because I made it 1/2. Is it 240? Maybe it's 480 because that's half, right? I think it's half. So that way I took that and then I had to do less than half to put these in. So if I wanted 4 across, I'd have to make this containing thing much larger. So if we go to where footer is defined, right here, I have width of 480, right? So if I make this larger, like watch, if I make this 960, you're going to see it will actually go all the way across now. Okay, so if I want to do 4 across as opposed to just 2 stacked on top of 2, because the inline block is just going to keep going down. So that's just the nature of the beast. Okay, so if you want to organize yours a little bit, I also did margin left, so I pushed it to the right there. But I could do position relative and then do 240, then do left and 240 pixels. That would also work. In fact, actually, it's probably a cleaner way of doing it. So let's go ahead and do that too. I'm just going to show you. You don't have to do this, but we'll do position, and then I'm going to do, oops, actually, I'm going to go like this because I need that number. So position relative, and then we're just going to go left, 240 pixels. And if we save that, it might look slightly different, but yeah, so it looks the same. Okay, so it does the exact same thing, but it's doing it by position instead. Okay, so that is roughly what I wanted. Okay, so hopefully you got an idea of all those different things that you could do. Feel free to play around with it. Maybe you want to add more content, so you could do more, like another section. Like this is one section, I could do another section. The footer doesn't really look like a footer, but that's because I was trying to show you all the different elements. But feel free to scale things around, move it around, have fun with it. All the cool things. Okay.